Welcome back. Sunday NFL action. We've got, the 2-0 Houston Texans playing the 0-2 New York Giants. Marco D'Angelo joined in studio with Brian Leonard from WagerTalk.com. Brian, Houston 2-0. After last year, everything that happened with this team, and I know last year when me and you were doing videos as well, for the first 6 weeks of the season, all we talked about statistically, the Houston Texans were one of the best teams in the NFL, statistically.
A lot of people talked about that. Now, luckily, I didn't get pulled into that because I watched the games, and you could tell this was a team not playing with any confidence whatsoever. You'll see that a lot of times if a team has a chance to lose and they've been losing that way, they continue to find ways to lose, and that's the way Houston played the rest of the year.
They did. It was a horrible year. They ended up benching the quarterback, and the quarterback ended up in Oakland, and he's not even starting for Oakland, and, you know, that's not good when you can't start for Oakland. But Fitzpatrick, he's doing enough not to get them beat. You know, he's not setting the world on fire, but, you know, he's had, you know, the first 2 games of the season, they haven't played powerhouses, so to speak. So obviously, you know, beating Oakland. And I wanted last week, to be honest with you, I put out 3 plays last week. If I would have had a 4th play, it would have been Houston, but I talked myself out of it because I still have, you know, the punches to the gut from last year with Houston. I couldn't pull the trigger with them. But now what do you think, you know, them going to New York, and this is actually going to be VR's play, and I think you're going to disagree with VR. VR's play is on the Giants here, and I know you got some strong opinions about the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I actually, in the Hilton contest, I did use Houston last week. And yeah, this is a Houston team that just a couple of years ago, they were one of the most talented teams in the league. And then last year they had a falling out. And anytime you've got high expectations for a team and you don't get off to a good start. Now, they did go 2-0, the first 2 faded after that. But a lot of times you'll have a situation where they start, it's like a team that expects to go to the World Series type of thing in baseball, and all of a sudden they're out of the playoff race and they kind of give up. And that's what we had last year with Houston. And, you know, we talked about the Giants here, and if you don't mind, I'll give my reasons why I like Houston in this game. The New York Giants, they looked terrible in the preseason. Some people will say they were 4-0 preseason. That was the bench players in the second half. The first half, they played terribly all preseason. They looked bad so far in the regular season. And the Giants are just a lousy team right now. They're having a hard time picking up the offense. Last week, going back to last week, actually, let's go back 2 weeks ago, Arizona plays the late game, Monday Night Football. Short week, travels all the way to the East Coast, plays the early game against the Giants. Right before the game, the quarterback is scratched. You're playing with a backup quarterback. They still win the game. That tells you how bad the Giants are. Houston's a very good team here, a team that I think is going to be extra inspired this week because we talked about they started last year 2-0. Mm-hmm. They're 2-0 right now. They want to get over that hump and get a win here, and this is a Giants team I want no part of. In the current line, you're basically looking for the Giants to win. I don't expect the Giants to win a lot of games this year, especially until they get that offense going. I like the road favorite here.
All right, well, VR is on the Giants. I'm going to give a lean to the Giants myself here. I agree with you. I think Houston's going to be much better than they were last year, obviously. But I think that now that they got that second win, I think some people are going to start to talk about them. And as far as the Giants go, everybody's, you know, bail and ship after last week because it got ugly. Losing a game the way they lost last week to a backup quarterback and everything with the situation. So I think right now the stock is as low as it can possibly be on the Giants. And Eli struggled, there's no question. They've had 6 turnovers so far, no takeaways. That's never a good recipe for success. But I think that as the season goes on, they are going to start to pick up that offense. So I think this is the spot. You go 0-3, you almost got to kiss the season goodbye. And I think the Giants will bring everything they have. I don't know that this would be a play that would actually make my card, but slight lean to the Giants. VR did have a play on the Giants. You like Houston, and I can't argue with anything you said, but this is officially Vegas Runner's pick, and Vegas Runner says to take the New York Giants in this one. And I'll be back, Brian and I, we're going to break down another NFL game, and we'll have a free pick for me up next in the NFL.